So we got the 303 spoiler summaries, and this is looking like a pretty good chapter. We haven't returned to action yet. We're still setting up, the next big arc. This is kind of like a bridge transitional arc still. But the things revealed in this chapter are super exciting, so let's get into it. So the title is Top 3. The chapter started with Hawks and Genus appearing in Enji's hospital to inform that they heard everything and asked if they could join them in their little family trip. As soon as Rei saw them, she did a full dogaza, kneeling and bowing down, to apologize to Genus and Hawks for what her son did. Both Genus and Hawks told her to not worry, and Genus helped her to get up as he apologized. Genus explained that they came to ask about Dabi, and implied that he actually felt sorry for overhearing the family's conversation because eavesdropping is illegal denim. I was talking about this in my last spoiler video. It was like kind of sus seeing them like standing outside of the hospital room and like listening to like this seriously personal family conversation. Genus explained that they're trying to investigate the root of Dabi's resentment, and they will interrogate Dabi directly on how he stayed alive and turned into Dabi. Okay, so this is something I brought up in the past couple videos as well. So now that we like know the death of Toya, what's still unaccounted for is like the big gap in time in between him surviving like the big prominence explosion training accident and then him showing up at the end of season 2 and meeting up with Shigaraki. So it's very possible there might still be more flashbacks with Dabi that are going to be had. How he like got the stitches and how he like furthered his combat abilities, I guess, and how he eventually meets Girin, because Girin is the one who introduces him to Shigaraki. And then also I'm sure we're gonna see him, build up his body count during that time as well. Hawks asked Shoto if that burn scar was also from Enji, to which Rei answered that she was the one who did it. Hawks then remembered about his mom and dad and regretted that he gave up and turned his back on them, unlike Shoto. To which he continued to tell Shoto that Shoto was so cool. So yeah, more characters finding out the truth about Shoto's scar. And of course, this is showing us a way for Hawks to relate more to this situation. Hawks then tells Enji that the world outside is a total hell. He informed Enji the status of escaped villains, the 7 high-end Nomus who are still free, the Tartarus prison break, the fact that the Hero Commission is not operating anymore due to the main members being either dead or heavily injured. So what I think he's referring to here is that minor flashback that we saw a couple chapters back, which took place before the Liberation Mansion raid, and like the Hero Commission was trying to like trap Redestro, but it turned out that it was one of Twice's clones of him, and he went into like his Stress Hulk form and just wrecked everybody there. And we're finding out now that they're like not even operating anymore. And the fact that many heroes are quitting. He continued by informing Enji that the citizens are now using support items to fight villains, which caused more damage. He then told Enji that just as his wife said, Enji had no choice but to fight. Hawks also told Enji that he and Genus will fight together with him, so his shoulder should feel a little lighter. Enji was speechless and touched with all the support from kind people and continued to cry. Natsuo told Enji that he'll support only until Enji stopped Toya knee. Hawks then proceeded to tell Enji that he will need to answer the public's questions, since now he knew roughly what happened between Enji and Dabi. He then said that there's one thing that he said no idea about, which is one for all. Fuyumi remembered that she heard that word from the crowd while trying to enter the hospital, meaning a lot of people are now aware of one for all. Endeavor remembered hearing that word and connected the dots, and he said, Deku? So this is a huge development. Pretty sure we haven't been hearing about this until now. I mean, we knew that One for All was pretty much name dropped during the war and that the other heroes heard about it, but now apparently the public is catching on to this, which is like a big deal. So before we go any further, I need to talk about something major that happens in this chapter that unfortunately Atsushi isn't mentioning in this summary here. And it's that apparently the Hero Commission is now requesting other heroes' help around the world. But apparently it's gonna take a long time for them to arrive. So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the heroes quitting, the commission going down and all that stuff. So it's like straight up being confirmed here that we are getting other heroes around the world finally being revealed and coming into the story and coming to Japan. And we see a panel of like 5 of them, and it's just their silhouettes, unfortunately. But I gotta say, the silhouettes look pretty cool. So I'll try my best to describe them real quick. So there's one that has like this helmet on that has like these lightning bolt like things coming out of it. Shown from the future here, this hero is actually Ectoplan. We see him in the My Hero 2 Heroes movie, and yes, his quirk is some kind of electricity manipulation, and he is from America, so that straight up confirms that one aspect. So this is pretty cool. There's one that has like long hair or something that's like going up in the air, almost like a ponytail. Then there's one that appears to just be like a woman. And then it's hard to make out the one that's next to the woman. Maybe that's another woman. But then there's one in the front who has like his arms by his side. And this one appears to be like the big one, I guess. And this silhouette makes it out to be like a cross between Knuckle Duster from Vigilantes with like Super Saiyan 3 hair or something. So this is super exciting, and the possibilities are just endless. It's like, okay, so heroes from around the world. So what does that mean? I'm going to assume at the minimum, one of these guys are coming from America. They kind of have to, or at least I really hope so. America has been one of the most intriguing aspects of the series, and it's been touched on multiple times in multiple different continuities. And speaking of America, we know from Vigilantes that at one point in time, the #1 American hero was Captain Celebrity. And judging from these silhouettes, I'm not seeing him among them, so I guess Captain Celebrity is either no longer a hero or he's just not a part of this collective that's coming to Japan. But I still do think that we're at least gonna get one American hero. But as for the other countries, you know, there's so many of them, your guess is as good as mine. The scene changed to Bakugo screaming Deku's name while coughing blood and was caught by his classmates in front of Deku's room. He said, "Why are you asleep while I'm awake, huh?" While getting carried along the corridor by Sato, Mineta, and Tsuyu, Ida was relieved to see Bakugo being so lively, and Uraraka added that he became louder than before. Jiro was there and informed that Ida that Tokoyami and Kaminari were fine and already sent home. The explanation as to why Tokoyami and Kaminari are not in the hospital, because apparently they're fine and they've been sent home, so there you go. Jiro asked Uraraka if Deku's body condition was okay, and Uraraka said that that's what she heard, but she's still worried. Bakugo, still being all tied up and carried by his classmates, met Genus and Hawks at the corridor. Hawks said hi, and Genus said, "Great explosion, murder god dynamite, so you're fine." To which Bakugo answered, "Does this look fine?" Hawks said he wanted to speak with Midoriya, but Ida told him that All Might asked them to leave the two of them alone. The panel then showed All Might holding Deku's hand and said that Deku is now talking with One for All predecessors. End of chapter. Okay, so this is huge, and we speculated that this was extremely likely to happen because whenever Izuku is unconscious or something, this typically happens. Now, at the minimum, I assume that he's going to be talking to the 4th user because, he just got his quirk and we haven't really been introduced to that character or anything like that yet. We've only seen him. But is he going to be talking to the 2nd and 3rd users? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that would be massive that, like, if in the next chapter it just completely debunks the whole time travel thing. But I don't think we're exactly at that point in the story yet for that either to be confirmed nor denied, you know what I mean? Who do you think Deku's going to be talking to? Let me know, and if you liked the video, guys, please give it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.